I remember watching that documentary for the first time and thinking, David really did not look happy with the whole process because he really, he was doing it looked like for you. And I was just imagining, like, here's a guy, he's really trying, he's trying to understand. And in the documentary, you also talk about your second partner.
Yes.
I believe his name is Will.
Right.
How long have you been seeing Will now?
Now it's 7.5 years, actually.
And how long have you been with David?
David and I have been 14 years, although I should mention we've only moved in 8 years ago. But we were dating off and on before that for about, what does that subtract? 6 years.
Alright, so you were dating for about 6 years. You moved in together for the last 8 years.
That's right.
And a year after moving in together is when you met Will and have been with Will ever since as well.
I actually met Will before David and I moved in, but we were kind of just friends at that point. But yes, close enough. You got the chronology there, yeah.
Okay. And I remember watching this documentary and watching a friendship develop between Will and Dave. And that, how did that affect you when the two of them just seemed to be getting along?
That was quite amazing. Quite a wonderful transformation. David being rather suspicious of Will, or not terribly pleased. And you're right, he does look uncomfortable through a lot of the film because it, I think he was doing it like reluctantly. I'm going to go along with this, and hopefully she'll straighten out at some point. Instead, I guess through the process of the film, he decided that maybe it wasn't as crazy as he thought. He even, kind of has a brief foray at that time into maybe I could do this when someone's interested in him. But the friendship with Will was kind of a neat bonus, and they still are, friends to this day, which is nice. It kind of makes it a lot more comfortable for me, and it's kind of more what I was looking for. I didn't want an antagonistic relationship with someone I'm seeing. It wouldn't work in the long term.
Speaking of antagonistic relationship,
yes.
There was what appeared to be some very uncomfortable tension between Will's wife, who appears in the documentary, and yourself.
Yes.
And when that was happening and the cameras were rolling, what was going through your mind when, you have to be the documentary filmmaker and allow this to be filmed and to see it through? And, here you are with your first partner, David, your second partner, Will's wife, who is not pleased with the whole situation. And, what was that like for you to be in the middle of all that?
Very challenging. As a filmmaker, when things are heating up and there's conflict, that's a great thing. What happened? Super. You don't want, a quiet, dull film where everybody is pleasant all the time. But as a real person living it, it's not very amusing. It was.
Were you at all conflicted with, part of you saying, "Oh, this is so great," and the other part of you saying, "Oh man, what have I gotten myself into?"
Yeah, actually, there is a lot of that because, I really don't want to tell people the entire story of the film because, as I've told, I think I mentioned you once before when in one of our chats, I just hate knowing the entire film before I try to go out and see it. And I do hope that some people will be interested to see the documentary and either agree with it or just argue about it, or it's a great date film. But it was a really hard process because it was a very tumultuous time. And we considered, a number of times we considered stopping the filming because it just seemed like it was not helping the relationship. It was not helping the relationship between Will and Robin. There were there's some really dark times, and we offered Will the chance to stop filming, to back out, and together, and then later Will decided he wanted to continue filming. For a number of reasons, because they believed in the film and they thought people should see that it does have problems. It's not an ideal. There's no ideal lifestyle. This isn't it either. And these are some of the challenges you're going to face.
You're listening to Frank Talks Pleasures and Lifestyles, and we'll be back right after this.